Hey YouTube, Legend of Zama here. Gonna bring some more battles, some more replay battles for you. Uh, let's see. I had a few good battles to show you, but it's not saving. It didn't save, it looks like. So, I think what I will do is show you. I think I'll show you this one. No. I think I'll show you this battle. Yeah, I'm kind of frustrated. I just got beat by a monk army. It was a 9-star, and I was quite surprised by the army he brought. I wasn't quite prepared for it. He brought like 3 monks with 6 or 7 chevrons both. Some pretty insane stats. 3 monk cav, like with 7 chevrons each. 1 with Warcry. The other 2 didn't have Warcry, which also surprised me a lot. And then he had like a Nagina monk hero with like 8 chevrons and 2 9-chevron bow monks. It was just insane. I had lots of katana samurai, some pretty high vetted ones, and a whole bunch of ninja corps. And I made the mistake of, once they engaged, I threw ninja bombs, and my entire army routed. And his units didn't even waver whatsoever. So that really made me mad. But whatever, that happens. So I gotta work on that strategy. But let's see. Let's just pause the battle here. So let's give you a rundown of my army. I brought my Band of the Red Hand, long Yari there, and then my 4 Naginanas. 2 of them are Death Watch Guards, which are my 9 chevron with pretty insane stats, and then my Miradin, Brotherless, and my Ethan Dur. Those guys become Death Watch Guards, I think, after this battle. And then I have my 2 bow monks, or bow samurai with 1 chevron and a. Let's see, is that a 200 range? I think this one is a 200 range. Nope, 175 range. And then 2 Naginata attendants. So that is my army. So I'll give you a quick show of his army as soon as it comes out of the forest there. Oh wait, I think I neglected to tell you one other part. I have also my 2 bow cav, my band's 2nd bow cav, and my band's 1st bow cav, and my Andorian heavy cav, and my Tarban lancers, my 2 Yari cav vets. I fought this battle quite a while ago, so I predicted he'd run for the shrine, so I figured, okay, I'm gonna opt for the sword dojo. And he's brought 2 mounted samurai, and Yari Ashigaru, Lone Sword. These Yari Ashigaru have good stats. Another Yari Ashigaru, Lone Sword, Monk, Lone Sword, Monk, Yari Ashigaru. So he's got a pretty balanced army, actually, except for the Lone Swords. That I do not agree with. Lone Swords are crap. No matter what you do to them, they are just utter crap. Oh, and he's got a Testubo Warrior Monk. I think I have one too. Oh yes, I do have a Testubo Monk. My big clubbers with 2 chevrons. And my anti-monk cav, a new Yari cav veteran of mine. I think I recolor them black to counter the white of the supposedly holy monk cav. So, seeing that he's gone for the shrine with his full force, there's nothing I can do to stop him from taking it. So I'm gonna opt to move all my cav to the other side and try and get around him here. And these 2 cav units he had here are mounted samurai with some pretty nice chevrons on them already. So they're actually pretty much a mounted bow monk, except without the range. They got 67 reload, 77 accuracy, not a lot of ammo. Some pretty good morale and melee attack. It's got some pretty nice stats on those guys. So I'm capturing the farmhouse here. No really particular reason, but apparently nowadays, if you do not, farmhouse is actually useful now. Apparently, fatigue resistance is very, very important nowadays. Extremely important, and there's a major morale penalty for if your troops are tired. So I'm capturing the sword dojo and the farmhouse. And Monk Cav has popped out with some pretty nice stats on it, and I charge it with my Monk Cav, or my Yari Cav, and he's popped a hold firm. And I knew that he had brought Monk Cav. I knew that wasn't his full army in there. And then he brought a Yari Cav with Bonsai. So that's a pretty insane unit. So I quickly mount up these Monk Cav, try and get him over here. Over here, his Monk Cav is actually dying pretty quickly, actually. Even with the hold firm, it's still green, but it is losing pretty badly. My Monk Cav, or my Yari Cav, doesn't have quite the same morale, but it has some pretty nice stats. And he's just charged a mounted samurai in there now. So that unit is dying, but I've sent my bow cav in now. And I'm dealing some death. And as you can see, his Yari Cav is pretty beat up. In fact, I end up beating his Monk Cav, and his Yari Cav is beaten up really badly. And I still have a full Monk Yari Cav veteran and a another half depleted Cav. So I'm gonna engage this samurai unit. I just have so many superior Cav numbers that I'm just gonna engage. And it's pretty much an all-out Cav battle. And this Cav unit is dying very quickly. And I think I sent this unit in to help. But I do manage to kill it. And my unit gets caught up with his spears and gets away. So no glitch there yet. And then this mounted samurai ends up pretty much hosing my bow cav until I bring in my Yari Cav. So essentially my bow, I have bow superiority right now. Actually by quite a large margin, because I'm about to kill his mounted samurai. It is now void and useless. May have a Yari Eshigaru, but it's couldn't help. And the bow cav is still holding out, and I still have a pretty much a slightly depleted monk, or my anti-monk cav is only slightly depleted, and I've killed off some very, very high vetted units. So I'm quite pleased with how my cav performed in this battle. My Andorian heavy cav, I think this is a glitch, but I don't know. I think I sent them up here to capture the shrine. Yeah, I think it's glitched already. We'll see. I do remember him running this Yari Eshigaru, and look at how fast he was winded. And now my opponent is trying to sneak through, and I'm going to quickly get up this hill as fast as I can because I need all the advantages I can get. And yeah, my replay is glitched. My bow cav did not rout. One of them stayed alive. Actually, both of them stayed alive. Wow. And then I still have my anti-monk cav, and my Andorian heavy cav over there should be heading for this shrine, and actually does recapture it. So now I'm gauging him down here with my Deathwatch guards and Miradin, and also my Naginata attendants to hold up this monk cav. And I've sent my Band of the Red Hand to hold this little choke point here. And they will do this with surprising strength. So now I think he's going to go into Spear Wall yet. And I got my monks, or my bow monks shooting at his monks. He's war cried me. I've sent a cav around. And my units are, some of them are in the red. Others are perfectly fine. This one is completely green. I'm being surrounded. My general's in stand and fight. And these units are going to get absolutely hosed. But my units in here are dying pretty fast, so I've sent my Testubo monk, which has war cries, so I sent him in and inspired him, and that's going to do quite a bit of damage to the enemy's morale. And I ran straight into one of his monk cav with my cav, and my cav is just sitting there. That actually didn't happen. But over here you can see my Long Yari has gotten 152 kills. It's just gotten an insane number of kills. And now I'm finally sending in another attendant to help my Deathwatch guards and my other attendant. And over here, his units managed to kill off my Yarikav, and I'm just trying to delay this monk unit because I know if he gets around my flank, my units are dead. And if he gets to my general, I'm also dead. And this unit here died. I know it did. Every single unit routed, and that's why it's just going to sit there. So, that's just kind of too bad. So I'm going to run my Long Yari into this fight. And my Death Watch Guards and Miradin are fighting very hard, and my big clubbers are fighting hard as well, and I'm sniping or shooting his general. And his general is dying very quickly. But now he's surrounded me, and one of my units routed just then. And my Death Watch Guards are supposed to fight to the death, but they are not fighting to the death. They have some pretty insane stats: 18 melee attack and 19 melee defense, 17 charge bonus, and 10 melee, 10 armor. This unit is dead, and this is a glitch. My units didn't actually chase after him like that. They would have turned around by now, I would think. Yeah, they should turn around by now. So I'm continually shooting at his general. Or, I was shooting at his general. Man, replays are so glitched now. Really makes me mad. I think I actually am just shooting his lone swords. And they're losing pretty badly because now I've got him on the downhill. I've killed off all his monks, and only lone swords and Yari are there. And I did shoot his general to death. And afterwards he said, I said good game, and then he said no. And then after that I said why no? General snipe, no good game. So, bit of a poor sport there. I get my general sniped pretty much 99% of the time. If my opponent has the smarts to pick off my general, that's usually the best use for bows if you're not shooting at monks. But so yeah, that was kind of too bad. A bit of a sore loser on my opponent's part. It's a pretty nice unit, but they couldn't quite hold up to my my Yarikav, which now are actually very good counters to Monk Cav. And I have some pretty nice Monk Cav myself, but I just don't use them much because I just don't really see the point in having Monk Cav. I just never use them. I use Yarikav, that's what I use. Yarikav is probably the best spear cav you can get. So, whatever. So I'm gonna get you another replay here. One of my recent battles. So I think I'll show you some ninja stuff, but I can't remember which one was a good one. Let's see. I'm gonna show you a nun spammer. That's what I think I'll do. I'm not gonna try and pronounce his name. I'll probably make it sound like I don't know, something going down the garbage disposal. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely German or Dutch or something along that line. I forget what clan he's from. I think he's from like some, I don't know what clan he's from. This is on the Lowlands map, as you can see right here. So the typical idea of this map is defense. You sit right at the river here with bows. If you want to attack, you go over around this hill. So usually if you're on this side, you want to attack. If you're on this side, you want to defend. It depends on your strategy. And then there's like a sword dojo over here and an armory dojo there, and I think like a farmhouse over here somewhere. Nowadays, farmhouses are actually kind of useful. So I'll put this into slow-mo. So I got a Naginata Attendant, a Bow Samurai, and another Bow Samurai, 5 chevron and a 1 chevron. And then I brought 4 Naginata Samurai, my more of my warriors. No Death Watch Guards in this one, because I kind of split it off. And I brought instead of spear Death Watch Guards, I brought Death Watch Guards 9 chevron Katana Samurai. So these guys have some pretty nasty stats, but not quite as good as they used to have. And then my 2 other Link's Second Swords and Katanas of Death. and then some monk cav here, and another monk cav, and then 2 bow cav, and Fraps is lagging. There we go. And then my general, whom I dismounted and have renamed to Arthur Hawkwing. And he's got this sweet hat. Look at that. Look at his headpiece. It's just awesome. You get that for having your clan go to get promoted to clan number 1. So he's dismounted his bow cav, which is a pretty smart choice. They're pretty effective on and off, but he hasn't upgraded them, so they're not quite as good as they could be. So let's see how many nuns he's got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nuns unupgraded, and then a Daikyu samurai and a bow monk, and another bow monk, a testubo monk, monk cav, his bodyguard, and I think that's all he's got. So like I said, there's a sword dojo here, there's an army dojo here. I want the army dojo very badly. And then here's the archery dojo. Sorry, that's not a farmhouse. Archery dojo. So I'm going to capture that, because I'm going to really need it, because he's got a major bow superiority on me. Sadly, well, actually I don't want to give away anything too much about the outcome of this battle. But as you can see, he has a very distinct advantage in the bow department over me. So I'm trying to capture this dojo, and oh yes, I did I mention that I have bow cav? I guess I didn't. An upgraded one and a non-veteran one. So I'm trying to get this archery dojo, and it looks like I've just about captured it. And my armory dojo, I've almost captured that as well. So he's obviously setting up for making me come to him, so that he can use his nuns to somewhat effectiveness. They're not upgraded. Not one of them is upgraded, so they're not going to do as good as an upgraded nun will. They can really do some damage if they're upgraded properly. But these bows will do more damage than his nuns will if I don't be careful. So now I think I've got... No, I do not quite have the archery dojo yet. But I should have it shortly. So he's going for the sword dojo to increase the melee attack, which would be make his nuns have 25 attack, which is pretty crazy if you ask me. I'll put this back into play because nothing really much is happening. So I don't have quite the dojo yet. Oh, there we go. Now I got that dojo and this dojo. So I'm gonna mount up my bow cav again. And I'm gonna go over here and try and shoot up this nun, because I don't want him to have the shrine or the sword dojo here. So his flag is going up already. And he's gonna start skirmishing with his bow cav right here. Since we have the same range on our bow units, it'll be a pretty even fight. Except that my units are in the forest, and he's not moving. So I will end up pretty quickly hosing this unit. It's lost 6 men, 8 men, 9 men, 11 men, or 12 men, 15 men, and now my monk cav is there and manages to catch his bow cav. So a bit of poor micro on his bow cav's part, which causes his bow cav to die. And now I got my bow cav and I'm shooting his nuns, and that really did some damage, as you can see. Look at the devastation my bow cav has already caused. It's down to 45 men. It's down to almost half strength already. There, now it's down to about half strength. So that nun unit's already pretty much screwed. And I got a monk cav I'm rushing him into the forest so I can sneak around my opponent's flank without him noticing, hopefully. So now I got my 2 bow cav. They're kind of just trying to keep him away from the sword dojo. Because his units are so vulnerable to missiles, I really think this was a bad choice of army, especially because it's pretty much nun spam. Fortunately, he doesn't have that many nuns. Let's see, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nuns. So 7 nuns isn't that bad. It's just a bit kind of, I don't know. He was a nice guy though. It was pretty good sport about it, about the whole battle as it went. And he's quickly gonna try and get some shots on his monk cav there. I get about 2 kills, 3, 5, 4, 7. I'm trying to lure him into this trap, which I managed to do so, but he does end up catching my bow cav. But I end up catching his monk cav in the back, and his monk cav do surprisingly well against my upgraded monk cav, which is definitely superior. While he's getting shot at, and while he just got charged in the rear, he's still doing good. And here, he engaged his leader general, slash a little bit of melee, with my upgraded monk cav, and they're beating my monk cav. But then he sends in a nun unit as well, and here he's beginning to charge, which to me is a foolish mistake because he had the bow superiority. He didn't have to charge me if he didn't want to, and I'm absolutely hosing this bow monk. But I do pretty well in the bow fight, except one of my, yeah, I actually do extremely well in the bow fight. But that's because he's shooting my katana samurai. So I'm gonna engage with my. I thought I charged him. I guess I didn't. I do charge here though. And so I'm going to end up surrounding his units because he's melee blobbing right here. And this unit I'll catch with my katana samurai, and I'll get the charge on that one. And I will soon be charging in my cav. My general's in stat and fight. He's got kind of like a little tree sitting right there. It's actually kind of interesting. So I've now killed off his cav with my bow cav still alive and my monk cav still alive. But I lost my other bow cav, or I lost my upgraded bow cav. And he managed to kill off I think he killed my monk cav over here as well. But he lost almost his entire general, and I'm now gonna tear into his bows. And he's trying to get his general into it, and he's already used a rally, so he has no rally. And his nuns are routing, and they are wavering, and they are about to die. And even then, he just war cried me, and my katana samurai have pretty much unwavering morale. And his Testubo monk is dying very quickly, and they just chain rout pretty much. I find nuns, you're better off taking a monk than a nun. They're for the same price. They have more men. They have, I think, better stats for the way the game is right now. I've tried having some nuns, but I just really didn't think that they were worth the price. Maybe if I upgraded them further, they'd be worth it, but to me right now, it just seems pretty much useless. But, so good game to my opponent there. He was a really good sport about that, but I got some pretty crazy kills with my bow cav. My cav did really well. My units in general just did quite well. My opponent picked pretty much a bad army. He could have beaten me, I think, if he had a slightly better choice of army. But I have no idea. It could have been the same outcome even if he had picked any other army. But, yeah, so hope you've enjoyed this. This is kind of a filler in till I do some more tournaments. It'll be on Wednesday we'll be playing it, hopefully, so I should have it up either that day or the next. So, keep on the lookout for that. Legend of Zamas, signing off till the next video.